Okay, good morning. Good morning or good evening, wherever you may be at. We've got another G-Man Speaks TV follow-along video titled, "This is where loser white men go to meet women." So, I'm going to assume he's talking about Thailand here. Judging by the thumbnail, what's in the background of this chick, we're probably going to be heading off to a nice tropical location, and I'm willing to bet it's Thailand. So, if you don't know who G-Man Speaks is, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I basically do follow-alongs with G-Man, other style of YouTubers that have content that are along the lines of targeted advice for older men, middle-aged, millennial, Generation Z, dating advice and encouragement. We look at today's dating market and we investigate some of the issues that's going on, whether it's simping, whether it's subscribing to OnlyFans and chasing women, and what the dating market might be like in your particular area. So we've already done a few videos touching on what the dating market is like over in Melbourne here in Australia. So without further ado, I'll let G-Man run the intro for this video. It was uploaded 42 minutes ago at the time of this recording. So yeah, just as I get home, I get a notification. You should click the bell icon to get them too. And we saw this G-Man video come up, and I thought, ample opportunity to do another great follow-along video, since G-Man and I seem to share so many perspectives and opinions. Just having a quick gaze at the comments. Aussie Legend. You haven't commented on one of my videos for a while, Aussie Legend. I recognise the name. Alright, let's do it. It's probably going to start playing from like the middle of the video as always. And that song, Spies Like Us, will never leave me. Let's do it.
Drunk.
I told you. I knew that was going to happen. The middle as well. Right from the middle. How do I make...
G'day guys, welcome to G-Man Speaks. Today we're going to take a look at a video done by a channel called Beauty Ray, and it's called Thailand, where white losers that can't get laid go. Now, I did actually watch this one about halfway through in advance. Normally I do like to watch them live with you, but I was just very intrigued to understand the point that she was trying to make before I actually launched in and started recording. So just so you know, from the outset, she's an OnlyFans model. She does mention it very, very briefly in her video. So any sort of points that she might have had or...
She just did that subtle drop in. Just put it out there that, oh, by the way, subscribe to my OnlyFans, only $9.99 a month. It was like a lead-on ploy. That's the tactic she actually had all along. Just because it was only inadvertent for a few seconds doesn't mean that that wasn't the intention all along. The exposure, the promotion, the self-promotion of the OnlyFans. I got a funny story. We'll let this play out a little bit more. Is this from last night? Yeah, of all nights, and it's to do with OnlyFans.
Already null and void in my book. So let's get started. Have a laugh. I'm probably going to tee off on her a little bit. Let's see what she has to say.
Hi guys, my name is Bella. Welcome back to my channel. I found this absolutely breathtaking spot to film this very, very deep video for you guys. Because as you guys...
Very, very deep video. So I'm going to keep stopping her because she talks a lot of rubbish, but like, she's going to come on here and say that men are losers who more or less...
I like this. G-Man's taking charge now. He's doing the me. He's constantly pausing to put a... she might not be a bitch. Put the woman in his place. In her place. Alright.
Come to Thailand to spend money because they can't get women. But that's the service that she provides. So it's like, is she feeling threatened that men are realizing that some of these Western women that they're overpaying exorbitant amounts of money for in dating, relationships, marriages, and any stupid OnlyFans rubbish that idiots pay for are getting better value over in other countries, getting a better product for their money? I think that the answer is yes.
You can see I'm traveling right now. You know, I'm not in my room anymore. This is not my room, okay? I'm traveling right now through Southeast Asia, and I have witnessed something really, you know, sad in Thailand when I was traveling around there. And I want to talk about it in this video.
Well, come on.
And
It's a real drag out.
The thing that really, blew my mind.
I don't know.
I'm going to say one thing, right? I'm going to say one thing before she goes on a tirade. This chick is not even a 5 out of 10. She has 50,000 subs on YouTube, and who knows how much money she makes off OnlyCans. She can come on here and judge people. I can't understand the clown world that we live in sometimes, guys. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in a different universe.
I've said that once to my old man. I said to my old man, the last time I was at hospital, I think I died. I wasn't even kidding around. It wasn't a joke. I said, I think I'm actually dead, and now I'm in some sort of limbo. Maybe it's purgatory, a parallel universe. Yeah, she seems athletic. I'll give her that, but without the makeup on, the acne scars, the red spots, I've got better skin than her, and I'm probably like 5, 6, 7 years older than her.
A different planet. This stuff is actually something that happens. That guys will pay all this money to get videos or pictures of her jamming dildos up her ass or whatever she does.
That's crazy.
When you can get it for free, like on the internet. One who wrote Jizz Hut or whatever it is, red pill, red tube, whatever.
All right, I'll go into my OnlyFans story just because I can kind of link it to the point G-Man just made of, yeah, you can get it for free. All right, so where it's different with OnlyFans. Hear the story out. So I got a message. Yesterday. No, it started with a match. Okay, it started with a match, which then, led to me receiving a message. Everything seemed genuine. This profile, who's now unmatched me, because we'll get to that, was verified. Everything seemed legit. And the first sort of lines were relatively normal until the Snapchat came out. Add me on Snapchat. Yeah, whatever. Let's see where this goes. I add her on Snapchat, and the first thing I check is the score. Well, it's a bot. It's fake. Right off the get-go, if the score is sub 1, even 2,000. Instantly know. If it's only like 2 or 3, hey, you see a lot of bots have on Snapchat. If the Snapchat score is single figures, you might as well just instantly delete. But I've done this in the past where I've trolled and went along with it. So, mind you, there is no expectation. We're just about getting ready for bed and we're seeing what's going on here. And then the photos start coming in. At first, they're rather normal, but something seems off about them. Something seems off in the sense that they look like they're taken from the camera roll, as opposed to when you're in Snapchat. For those of you who don't know, you can take a photo, whether it's a selfie or a photo of something else, and then you can send that photo and it's basically live. It was on the spot. Or you can send a photo from your camera roll. So they looked very camera roll-esque, those photos, as opposed to taken there and then. And then another thing that I noticed was there was a lot of natural light in this room. Yeah, that didn't add up to me. There can't be fucking natural light at 2 in the morning anywhere in Australia. So just about then I instantly knew. Now I have to open these messages. I didn't actually get deleted or unmatched off Snapchat yet. And she was saving every single message for whatever reason. We'll just call it a she. Though that might not be the case. So yeah, I get asked where I'm at. I ask where you're at and how's their natural light with where you're at. How is their natural light in Melbourne, as she says. When this is, mind you, 2 in the morning. I could tell it was natural light. It wasn't light from a lamp. And get this. The message reads as follows. I really like you and I have a surprise for you. I will send you a really dirty video if you subscribe. Try copy and paste this link in your browser, LMFAO. And then the link, onlyfans.com/AvaSkyX. You know the jig's up there and then. Alright, but I kept rolling with it to see what's going to happen. If this is on an odd 0.1% chance that it is actually a real girl trying to really sell her OnlyFans to me desperately at 2 in the morning, I'll keep playing the game. So I said, "Ah, yeah, you say that shit to everyone so they subscribe to your OnlyFans." I said, "I'm actually more of a content creator myself and prefer to be on the other end of the camera." Partaking in the scenes. So that's not me through and through, but like I said, we're gonna feed this conversation for a moment. And then she replies, "No, I actually met my ex on there." And then I said, "He subscribed, question mark?" Uh-huh. "Yeah, my ex was obsessed. Are you really not gonna add me on OnlyFans?" And then I said, "Listen, love, I'm a 32-year-old man and that's some sim shit. I ain't paying it. I ain't paying for it." She says, "I've tried to make my OnlyFans free, but I just can't." And I said, "Why would I jerk off to your pictures? Like I said, I'd only rather partake in the scenes." Co-star or nothing. And then, "It takes a while for me to trust. I've had bad experiences." And this is where I'm basically shutting the conversation down at this point. Keep hustling. I ain't paying for it. "No, really, I'm not down until I trust you more." And I said, "It's a two-way street, and you're full of false advertising." And then she goes, "Well, just so you know, I only meet with people I trust from my OnlyFans." What the fuck? Anyway, I said, "I ain't one of your simp boys paying to wank over your pics. Could care less about your videos and photos." And then she goes, "Guess I misread you." I said, "I never gave the notion that I'm looking for girls to meet and then subscribe to their OnlyFans." False advertising through and through. And then I started giving her a lecture. I said, "You should cut that shit out, delete your profile, meet a good, nice white man, have his babies, be faithful through marriage." And then she gives me this bot generic response of, "Well, I do want to take it to the next level, but the only way to get to know me better, Q, through OnlyFans." "Don't you want to see my full body? 'Cause here, I can't send you nothing." It takes a while for me to trust. I've had bad experiences. And then I finished off with my very last message saying, "Look, you're either a scam, a bot, or some retarded Zoomer trying to scam simps." She said, "Obviously not. Honestly, why would you even ask me that?" And that was where the conversation concluded. So now, getting into what G-Man's saying, why would you do it? Why would you watch the dildos, as he so put it, getting jammed up the ass? Put it this way. She's made it interpersonal, this OnlyFans girl. So I'm sure that this is exactly the thing this one does. So, say last night was a real situation. It wasn't a retarded Zoomer boy, some Andrew Tate wannabe, alright, trying to pimp a fake girl out, sending fakes, trying to get someone onto an OnlyFans. Mind you, I did check that link out. I checked the link out. She had over 10,000 subscribers, this alleged Melbourne girl doing OnlyFans. She had 10,000 people already in there. And the price was $9.95 a month. Do the mathematics, if that's what 10,000 guys are paying. Now, getting back to my point and really summing it up, once they've made it interpersonal, you almost feel as though, oh, she selected me. I'm special. She's talking to me, and she was replying quick. She's talking to me, she's interested, might say these trigger words and sentences that get your heart racing. Oh man, she said she really likes me. Now think about it. And I'm not criticizing any sort of men that are potentially vulnerable. They're lonely. They might have had a couple of drinks, but either way, it's the evening, it's the middle of the night, they're restless, and all of a sudden, you've got a fairly attractive girl, 5, 6, 7 years younger than you, she's in good shape, she's talking to you, all of a sudden her OnlyFans comes out, and she's just asking for you to subscribe. She just wants you to be there so she can build rapport with you on OnlyFans. She tells you she doesn't live too far away, and once you subscribe and get to know her there, she'll put out. She said she really likes you. She said that she's met her ex on OnlyFans. You can be the new guy. How good does that sound? And that's where you can get caught in that trap, where you're lacking self-worth, confidence as a man. All right, your heart's racing, like I said, you're flustered, you get horny, you think, wow. And we've gone over this, I've had this conversation with all of you guys if you've seen my other videos. Even a good-looking guy, we're talking top 0.1%, let alone a top 5% good-looking guy. Even the guy that's got 6'5", that's got 6 figures, he's probably, without subscribing to any extra tiers, I would say getting about 5 matches a week at an absolute maximum. Wouldn't surprise me if it was only 1. Me, personally, I'm not even going to say matches, I'm going to say conversations that go beyond 2 sentences, maybe 1 a month. 1 a month. Matches are irrelevant. Sometimes girls will super swipe, whatnot. You'll match, you'll have a notification that someone matched with you. By the time you've clicked on that notification, if it's been about half an hour or an hour, that person's no longer in your match list because they were super swiping, then they had a look who they ended up matching with, and, well, you didn't fit the bill for whatever reason, right? You were not up to par, she started a conversation with someone else. You weren't, like I said, the right ethnicity, the right height, the right skin tone. Your hair was too long, your hair was too short. You didn't work out enough. You weren't standing next to a Ferrari or a Lamborghini in one of the photos. You're too intimidating. What have you? You really won't truly know, okay? Sometimes girls are just simply intimidated by guys, especially girls under 25. The amount of times I got told that as a security guard when I might have only been 2 or 3 years older. Had a bit of a different look going on. I grew facial hair. There was a bit of a, let's just call it like a Viking thing going on, and oftentimes I was told that I was intimidating. Now, once the girls were sloshed, it went from intimidating to what's your number? But otherwise, girls can just be scared of guys, and that's another thing that society, through social media, through fake news media, has instilled in women, all right, that men are dangerous. All these news reports and statistics that you hear getting put out of domestic violence, violent men, police responding to conflicts, and 9 out of 10 times the guy's being done for it. I've been done for it. I uploaded a video that had my intervention story. So again, concluding to G-Man's point here, these women will play this thirst trap game, suck you in, make you feel exclusive, alright? Give you this quote unquote VIP kind of treatment, where you'll feel special, that she's targeting you, she's talking to you, she's responding to you quick. You haven't had that in so long, and all you have to do is take a shot on it for $9.95 a month. You'll not only get some pics, but you might get something more. You might get a chance to meet, to fuck. Man, that'd be great. And that's it. That's probably how she's got 10,000 dudes, and they're all in line. And just about all of them, I shit you not, just about all of them are in that line messaging her. She's probably then saying, oh, there's so many messages. Just donate $5 so your message is prioritized. And then she says that to all 10,000. And then how many of that 10,000 is sending $5 super chat type messages to get prioritized? Just going down the endless rabbit hole of, I'm busy this week. Oh, I can't, I'm sick. I got to get to know you just a little bit better before we meet in public. I just got out of a serious relationship. Man, use your own fantasies of how women will play that shit on, lead you on. We've also spoken about this, G-Man and I, about just dangling the carrot, right? Dangling the carrot in front of your face. Just giving you that inch so they can take a mile. I think I've made my point. If there's any questions regarding that, any of your opinions or thoughts regarding all of this, leave me a comment. And if you're enjoying the video so far, I put out plenty of videos like this moving forward from here on in, so subscribe to the channel. That's it from me for now. Let's keep rolling with G-Man.
What it's called? Pornhub, Bang Bus, Fake Taxi, whatever. All these, they're all free, or $1 a month or something. I don't know, right? But guys are going, buddy, spend their paychecks on these virtual hoes, and she's smug. Ugh.
Amount of pathetic losers, probably a lot of those that watch my channel as well, that cannot get a girl in their country. They are pee deprived. They are virgins most likely. They come to these countries, they literally like travel all across the world, because it's mostly Europeans and Americans that do this. So they literally have to travel around the world, pay crazy amount of money, and then pay some more here to get some of these girls.
I'm going to have to agree with her on that. That's true, right? Like, guys, if you do the whole passport thing, or looking for women in different countries, no problem. But just know you're paying for it. And know they're going for you because they see you as elevating them. They can get more money out of you. You're providing them with an income. Isn't it? Because, yeah, there are instances where...
Well, that's right. And this now concludes everything, the point that I was making previously. This concludes it. You'll never convert an OnlyFans girl, alright? So how I said, why don't you just drop the OnlyFans? Trolling her to get married, bear children, settle down and live a fruitful trad life. What does that translate to for her? Just take a second and answer the question. What does that translate for her? Well, that translates that she's got to quit her OnlyFans. She's got to quit the outright robbery of simps and other men's income. She'd have to quit that. That's what settling down would entail. I mean, there would be guys, of course, that would allow that sort of behavior to continue. You see that. I see it all the time. For some reason, Facebook keeps feeding me degenerate shit all throughout my feed about Love is Strange, or one of those degenerate, woke kind of agendas where there's polyamory going on. So yeah, there would be guys that would be willing to settle for something like that, where they would be the boyfriend buying Tyrone a Nintendo Switch, who's just giving her heat while he's behind the lens, filming, encouraging, being supportive, and then she'll go, oh, well, we have a mutual agreement and he's okay with Tyrone plowing me from the back. We just have a different kind of relationship. See, he listens to me and he's understanding. And then you got the cuckold in the corner like, yeah, I love her. Bianca is so precious to me in my life. See, she gets me. And we communicate really well. Now, I'm asexual, but whatever the fuck. It's hard to act like an outright zombie degen. But those are the kind of men that would settle, that would be taken advantage of. And they won't quit this kind of lifestyle. So never think that you'll get an OnlyCams girl to quit. Like I said, do the math. 10,000, which isn't particularly much, I suppose, compared to some of those that I'm sure have hundreds, if not millions. And if everyone is chipping in $9.95 a month, Sure, maybe there's some kind of OnlyFans cut, but then again, you think of super donations if she's turning on a live stream. Even if you got 50 dudes in the live stream from the 10,000, which is a very small percentage, I'm sure out of those 50 dudes, at least 25 of them would be constantly donating. We're starting to talk hundreds of dollars, potentially in half an hour, maybe 1 hour. So what's a full day of work? What's a full day of work nowadays? Right? Go to work, you have to get ready, put the suit and tie on, 8-hour day, you come home, $300-400 at best if you work a pretty darn good job. What's this chick doing? 3-4 hours of playing with herself, as G-Man said with the dildo? Super donations galore. Donation city. $1,000 by the end of a fucking 3-hour show. If that. I don't mean if that financially, if that time-wise.
People do find marriages and stuff like that, but I would proceed with caution. Getting involved with Thai women, Filipino women, all of that. I've heard bad things happening. Guys getting rubbed out, wiped out financially at an older age, even when they're younger. Or guys getting ended, disappearing. No, I don't know about that personally, but I've seen stories about it, so it happens. They milk you like a golden goose. So she's not wrong on that, but what she is failing to see, and why this video is so ironic, is that she's doing the exact same thing. So she even said it. The guys who watch my channel, which I'm presuming is her OnlyCans, are losers who cannot get laid. Like, she insults her client base. So she's not a very smart business person. She's obviously overly young, over opinionated young woman with an inflated sense of self-worth, who would say something stupid like that, because these idiots are the ones that are funding her lifestyle and probably her trips around Southeast Asia. You can't make this shit up. Do I have an issue with guys doing the passport thing? I don't care, but don't make out like you're going there and the women love you for you. They love you for what you can give them, right? That's just no different to over here. It's just they're less bitchier. They know how to play the game.
So they don't feel like a loser anymore, you know? Because I have noticed that especially the guys that feel really like a loser in their own country, you know? So in Europe or in the USA, they, you know, all the women...
I just got a video idea, and it might not even be a follow along. I think I'll title it something along the lines of how to not be a loser, or how to start winning, or how to become a winner, but from the ground up. So a lot of these self-help videos, they don't start from rock bottom. Now, I've been a rock bottom in my life. I'm talking rock bottom. Half alive. Maybe just clinging on to life, kind of rock bottom. Bank accounts in the minuses. Not $0, in the minuses. So, losers, as she's saying, if you're still alive, you're still kicking, you best believe you can fucking turn it around. You ain't done yet. So maybe I'll do a video like that. How to find your feet again. And how to start winning. How to start getting ahead. And that time you were a loser, that time you were laying on the floor, laid out on the canvas, rock bottom, that'll only be your fuel going forward, son. Alright, let's go.
women are kind of like stepping all over them, and they want to prove to themselves, you know, that they can get a girl, that they are this kind of big alpha guy, which they're not, obviously, but they come here to play this kind of like a, you know,
triggered
circus. They come here, they get one of these super, I don't know the name to call them, but let's just call them soft, okay? It's not a bad thing, right? So I'm not like judgy, right? Like, I do not support this kind of tourism, but
you were providing this service online, you moron. You don't support it. You're probably going to lose customers. But I don't know where she's from. Is she European or something? I can't work it out, but she's obnoxious and rude, and guys throw money at her. Why do you do that? Why do you guys at home do that shit?
Like I said, if she's leading them on, if she's making the guys feel VIP exclusive, she's sending out the types of messages that I just gave examples of, where you feel like, oh my god, I'm in. I'm the guy she's got her sights on. And if she's doing that to hundreds, let alone potentially thousands of dudes, and maybe that's how she's established the Snapchat score, because she's just cycling through conveyor belt style, getting that Snapchat score up, doing it to hundreds and thousands of dudes. And that's what they do. These OnlyFans ones, they won't just outright advertise OnlyFans on their Tinders or Bumbles or even Hinges. They'll make the profiles real. Maybe the profile will be verified real. And they'll lead it on. They'll lead into it. And for a lot of men, every message received is just that thirst ever so slightly increasing. You start seeing the worm dangling on the hook. You're getting closer to it. You're getting closer. Eventually she's got you hook, line and sinker now. It's like a good fucking fisherman, just reeling you in. Reeling you in. And the catch is when you go, man, I've communicated with her for so many days now, potentially hours. It's only $9.95. I'm going to shoot my $9.95 shot. And before you know it, you're beating yourself up over this girl. You're waiting for her to come online for some sort of a live show. There's a plethora of guys trying to message her. Chat's going off the hinge, off the rails. You want your message to be seen. Hey, babe, we were just chatting the other day. How do I stand out? Fuck, better send the $50 super like so it's in gold so she can see it. That's the kind of man you become after you get caught on that damn hook when you're chasing the worm.
Fucking hell. Couldn't stand her after she spoke for 2 bloody words.
By the way, guys, subscribe to my wife. The link is in the
See?
But
She did exactly what I have been going on about in this entire video. They'll lead into it. The smarter ones, the business-minded ones, you could say, won't just shoot it out straight away. They got to dangle the worm a little bit before they... What's the expression as well? To get the rabbit, you got to chase the tail.
yeah, what was I about to say? They get this kind of women who are very obviously getting paid to
Like her?
treat the men as if they're some sort of alphas, which they're obviously not. But you know, like, imagine like you're so desperate that you have to pay so much money to get a girl to treat you like an alpha. Like, you know, like
Like an alpha. Who cares about this alpha beta bullshit? That's something I always talk about, guys. I don't like using those labels. It's all bullshit marketing for these people who are selling courses or whatever. You know, your Andrew Tates of the world and your other guys who are...
That's right, be yourself. There are beta behaviors, and they're beta behaviors because they negatively impact your life. But we won't go into labels. Be your authentic self. Just acknowledge your bad behaviors, the behaviors that are costing you in the long run, whether it's financially or emotionally. And once you've acknowledged them and had the conversation with yourself, which is what I've preached, phase them out of your life. Try and level up, whether it's one step forward a day.
trying to make you aspire to be like a fake character like they're putting on. Oh, being alpha, it's all bullshit, man. Well, the alphas that they're portraying, like those terminologies are rubbish. So I don't know why she's saying that guys want to be alpha. That's the last thing I want to be called, is an alpha, right? To me, it sounds wanky. You know, guys, if you disagree with me, happy for you to put it in the comments, but that's my view on it. So some of that red pill shit is also bullshit as well.
Yeah, I agree. If you need the validation, someone to tell you, bro, that's alpha, you're alpha. When you make decisions throughout life, commit to something, action something, doing it with confidence, inner confidence, conviction, whether it's approaching a girl, submitting some kind of an assignment, reassuring yourself that I'm not going to make an excuse today and I'm going to go for a walk. turn that walk into a walk to the gym, get a workout in at the gym. You don't need anyone's praises for it. You don't need a pat on the back that you did a good job. You fucking know you did a good job.
But this chick, the nerve of her, it's astounding.
It's just ridiculous.
I want to become like Wes Watson and start yelling at cameras. That guy's a douche lately.
To me, like, and I've seen it with my own eyes. So I was walking around in Thailand, in Phuket, and Phuket is kind of like, I would not say that Phuket is that much into it. Like Pattaya is an area that is, you know, more involved in this kind of a tourism, but I saw it in Phuket and it was crazy. Like, these guys actually, I saw one guy, he looked like, you know, like a guy that watches my channel, like absolute loser, miserable, desperate for girls, you know. And I saw him in this shop with this Thai woman who was, by the way, quite beautiful, and he was even like trying to get her drunk. Like, he was getting so much booze from there and everything. So like, not only do you have to travel to another country,
she's a hooker. He had a bar girl. That's what they do, you moron. Like, she's trying to be smug. This chick just has no life experience. This has been going on for as long as I've been alive or longer. Guys going over to those Southeast Asian countries. That's not a new thing. She thinks it's just like this new thing that she's discovered. It's been going on forever. I can see why guys do it, especially having to deal with women like this. She's calling these guys who pay her bills an idiot, losers who can't get women. And
how else is she going to call them? It's predatory behaviour. And the simps are the prey.
Laughing about it. But you are a loser if you pay her money. So I don't disagree with her. So she's calling you a loser to your face and you're giving her money. So it does make you a loser. Anyway, guys, about halfway through. If you're enjoying this content, please sub. Go for 10k subs. Let's get there, guys. Let's get to the big around 10k number. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help me out, guys, just watch my videos through. That's what gets me out there to more people. Cheers.
to get a woman, to get some action finally after being, you know, pay free for a couple of years in your own country. Not only that, but also you have to get her drunk, because, you know, I think if she sees your small pee-pee down there, like, she's just gonna if she wasn't drunk, she would just like laugh at you and run away too, you know. So yes, guys, this is my experience, what's been happening here, and I see it like a lot here. And yes, I'm not trying to say like, yes, some guys, the Southeast Asian girls are their type, but like, you really are so desperate still to go to another country, travel, like, you know, across the globe, because you cannot score one in your own.
Hang on, but it's not. Oh, she actually is calling the guys desperate, but so it's not desperate. Just at least they're getting some action out of it. At the end of the day, they're going across the world. They are spending money, but I think there's a point to be made that if you want to deal with women in any capacity, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's your wife, de facto partner, whatever it is, or just dating, you're spending money. A lot of the time, these guys get frustrated because they spend a lot of money and they don't get any action out of it, right? So at least they got an upfront deal, an upfront transaction going on here, where it's clear what the outcome.
Yeah, so we've also touched on this. G-Man has touched on this. He might elaborate or retrace back to that point, but if you're leading with your money, if your money is the primary driving factor, at least that's what you consider to be your primary driving factor to get a squeeze out of her, so to speak, that's not going to make her attracted to you. Maybe momentarily, okay? We've also discussed this. G-Man and I have both said this. Very temporarily, it'll be a very fleeting thing where she might be interested. Because, say, you dressed well, you dressed nice, she's noticed you got some cash in your wallet, kind of thing. But her attraction for you, the hypergamy, it won't solely draw and evoke within her from your ability to spend on her. So if you're leading with your money to try and get a squeeze out of her, I'm saying it again, so you really take heed, it's not particularly going to happen. It's not necessarily going to happen. And if you are chasing, if you are wanting something more fruitful, longer term, rather than just a one night thing, a friends with benefits moving forward, if you want to partner up with this woman, you got to develop yourself as a man. You got to work on yourself as a man. And that's a daily endeavor.
She should be saying, she actually is saying the guys are sad for giving her money. I don't even know how she's getting $2 to bloody show herself if she was nice, let alone bloody calling her own viewers idiots.
You know? It's kind of sad, right? So, yeah, I mean, like, a lot of guys, I have been actually watching some documentaries about this on YouTube, and because I was interested to know, like, what other people have to say about it, and I found out that a lot of these guys, they really are, like, they admit that they are very lonely in their country. They cannot get any girl, they cannot get any action, they cannot, you know, they just don't.
Again, if you're one of those guys that's lonely, you're not the only one. Brothers, wholeheartedly, I get lonely too. That doesn't make you a simp. You become a simp when you start going out of your way to try and fill that void by chasing women, perpetually chasing women. I'm not saying it's wrong to chase them as well, to initiate some kind of contact, to set up that first date. I said this in a previous video, don't chase a woman who you're interested in for longer than a fortnight being the upper limit. But there's ways to do things the right way, and there's absolutely incorrect ways to go about things. And for a woman who's on OnlyFans, the problem with that is that, you know, she's got a plethora, a huge line of people in the rearview mirrors, and you're just going to be added to that queue. So as soon as something like that comes out, she can be attractive, she can pretend, which most likely that's what's happening. She's pretending to like you, she's talking to you, and she wants to siphon you for what you've got. Using my previous examples of women who I ended up dating and having long-term relationships with, they will show you interest from the get-go. There won't be pursuits of months, let alone fortnights or weeks. They will pursue you themselves. Every day even. Sometimes multiple times a day. And you'll appreciate it and you'll reciprocate potentially. And when there's attraction coming from both parties on both ends, it's a two-way street. You meet in the middle, and that's how you get your relationship. But if you're overly investing and you don't feel like you're getting anything back, you're stringing sentences together, you're trying to shoot your shot, she's giving you one-word responses, you got to know when to call it time, when to walk away, when to ground yourself and show her your true character. Don't show her your weakness. That you're on your hands and knees, crawling to potentially get a piece of her ass.
I feel like men there. And yes, like, I've been talking about it in a lot of my videos that the femininity and masculinity roles are kind of like flipped around in the Western countries. But still, you know, like, it's really sad that, you know, some losers, a lot of them.
She's not sad. She'd be sad if they all stopped subscribing and donating.
That can afford it, of course, travel to these countries just to prove to themselves that they're not that much of a loser.
Talk about crying wolf.
This chick is absolutely obnoxious. But it's like the mentality of like a teenage girl. Clearly never being really out of her bedroom or something like that. Maybe just got out to Southeast Asia. She spends all her time in her bedroom jamming dildos up all her holes for money because that's normal. That's just a job. That's fine. There's nothing to see here. I would argue that's probably worse. Because you're being a hoe on a bigger scale than any one of these bar girls. You probably do it to support a family. You're just there as an obnoxious woman who's had everything given to you. I can't understand why. I can't see anything attractive about this woman. She probably wears tons of makeup and all that and transforms herself. Who knows? I'm not going to look her up and I don't care. But she's been given life on a silver platter. She doesn't know what it's like to be a guy who might struggle to get action, because women will never struggle. Give you a 2 out of 10, you have a line around the block wanting to bang you in the car, bang you in the VN behind the cricket pavilion. It's the way it goes for these chicks. And even this chick who's like a 5 out of 10 on a good day, she'll have no shortage of men wanting to smash her box. It's just the way it goes. So women then try and contrast their experiences to, like, well, men must have those opportunities too, because they're banging men. They're only banging the top percentage of men. But so now the guy who struggles to get women as easy as that, he's a loser. It's really funny. It's really funny. And it just goes to show you that a lot of these younger women just live in a different reality. That's why a lot of men do like to go for women of multicultural backgrounds. Now, I think she's from Russia or something. I'll never go for a Russian chick. They're too, like,
opinionated,
blunt, not overly feminine. And you know they're going to suck the life out of you. But
I disagree that they're not feminine, but they can be pretty harsh and blunt, straightforward, which can be positives at times, but as a negative connotation, I'm sure they won't mind me saying this, they can be a little bit unstable and crazy.
Dated Aussie women or Western women, like white chicks? Not really, no. No, I don't. Europeans, women of Middle Eastern or European heritage, they're the best to go with. Some Asians as well. But these white women, look at her. Like, why would you put up with any bullshit like this over someone who's actually going to treat you nice? She's like, oh, well, they have to spend money to be treated nice. Well, all men spend money with women, whether you accept it or not. You're buying houses, you're buying cars, you're paying ongoing mortgage payments, you name it. Buying them clothes, paying for bills, they're not contributing as much. Guess what? That means you're paying for it. So don't trick yourself, guys. You're all paying, and we all pay for women in one shape or form. That's it.
Excuse me, but you are, like, you are an absolute loser, desperate, and yeah, I mean, like, I see it in these guys' eyes, and I see those guys, like, you look at them and you can see that they're losers. Like, I have actually trained myself really well. Look at a guy, I can tell. Like, I can tell his size, and I can tell how confident he is. I can tell how much of an alpha, beta, whatever he is. How much of a loser blood he has. So a lot of them have this blood.
Look, as much as this might trigger people, she's acting like a typical young white Western, or like G-Man said, maybe she is, yes, European, Russian. It's quite hard to pick it. I'm guessing she's Eastern European. Correction. Apologies for mucking up my words then. I think it's just instilled in a lot of these types of women to have this kind of persona. Okay, so you have your traditional women. That's why I've emphasized good leading father figure in the home. They get raised right. They don't turn out like this because of strong family values within the home. Or this is the byproduct of going at it alone in the big, bad, wide world. Clearly, it looks like she's either traveling solo or in a very small group. She's experiencing the world through her lenses. Okay, so her father, her parents, didn't pre-install the actualities of life to her. She's living in her own bubble, like a social media steered and engineered sort of bubble, where she's got a totally different view and perception of the world. And clearly here, she's exhibiting that she's got this ingrained perception that men are to serve her. They are to simp to her, they are to subscribe to her, and there's nothing immoral about her leading them on. And she's just outright telling them. Maybe it's a good thing that she's actually outright telling them that they're losers. G-Man is saying that you're losers if you're doing this. And whilst I can sympathise with a man that is lonely, a man that has had his heart broken, a man that is trying his best, I say it time and time again, this is not the way.
Blood here. Yeah, I can see that. A lot of loser blood in here.
Loser blood,
So,
Jesus.
yeah. Not a good side, not a good side. Just kidding. I'm enjoying these losers. You know, I think that you all should just go back to your countries and worship the women there instead
Worship.
of trying to prove to yourselves that you are someone who you're not here.
Go home and worship women. What planet do you live on? Maybe that's why men are leaving whatever countries. They don't want to see that you have to worship women just to get a sniff. You have to sign your life away with marriages and long-term relationships and things that don't work for you, paying bills and rents and bullshit, to maybe get some action. Or up front, know what you're paying for, pay less cheap, like far less price. As I say, guys, a divorce, depending on what you're worth, regardless, it's relative, it's going to wipe you out. Whether you've got 20,000 in the bank or 10,000 or 100,000 or 10 million, you're going to get proportionally absolutely bent over. So it's going to cost you. So you're better off just being honest to yourself. If you're not having luck with women, to go over there and just pay for it. I have no issue with that, right? The only issue and I somewhat half agree with there is guys who delude themselves into thinking because they go there that the women love them for them. We need to have your eyes open. So know what you're doing. It's a transactional relationship. Nothing different to at home. All relationships are transactional that you go into. You have to give something to get something. That's a transaction. It's hilarious. She's going to keep ranting. I'm just going to let her play out for sort of like 2 minutes and I'll end the video there, guys.
Right?
Cool.
So, you know, just accept that you're a loser. It's so much easier and cheaper for you to do it, like, you know? I think some guys, they just can't accept that, right? Like, they just travel to these countries and they're like, no, I'm not a loser. I'm not a loser. See, I can get all these Thai girls. I'm not a loser. Definitely, trust me, you know? Like, but then they get back into their countries and...
I said I would interrupt. I can't help myself. She's calling guys losers. She is a loser. I don't care if she makes a lot of money and on OnlyCans. You are a loser. You got nothing else to offer apart from your asshole gaping and spread open with the dildo up and on a webcam. Don't sit here and judge men and judge people for their choices when that's all that you are providing to the world. Guys are sharing you with money, yeah, but you're a loser.
Just on that, as my father would say, with women, at some point in their life, the switch will flick, the program will turn on. They'll want to bear children. They'll want to settle down, to have a family. That program is, unless there's corrupted data, so to speak, it's inherently only natural that it's going to turn on. Even for women like her, hypothetically, let's just say early 20s, that's the last thought on her mind. She might have even had a mini conversation with herself saying, I don't want to have children. You best believe that that program tends to come out of the blue, switch on in a woman's mind, whether she's in her mid-20s, sometimes in her late 20s, sometimes to these boss, bad bitches, corporate world style women. That program can even turn on in their mid-30s, where at that stage it might even be too late. So unless the woman is harboring corrupted data, eventually it turns on. And there is, again, a plethora of videos on platforms like YouTube. It's not me just pulling this out of my ass, of women sitting there crying, regretting that they chose to, say, pursue a career in corporate, business, film and television. adult entertainment. And they didn't settle down and act out their biological primal behaviors of nurturing a child and sustaining a fruitful relationship. Mark my words, sooner or later these OnlyFans girls come to that point. You could even say jokingly, I tried to convert one yesterday with the Snapchat story that I said earlier in this video. They just don't see it. A lot of women are also under the illusion that you can put it off, that it can wait. Sometimes they don't even realize there's a biological clock until time's expired. I think G-Man's going to round it out. I've said my piece. I've said everything regarding this video. I've got nothing more to fire away. But gentlemen, in all seriousness, if you are lonely, if you are experiencing mental health issues, don't suffer in silence, truly. I can totally resonate with behavior of low self-worth, finding it difficult and trusting yourself. And it's not about me now saying, hey, there's someone out there for you, fella. Sometimes you got to take that negative energy, rattle it out. Use it to just start taking daily steps forward. What are new habits that I can implement in my life to try and start getting ahead? Have I got some weight to lose? Start with the kind of foods that you can perhaps ditch out of your diet. Do you exercise? Start with just going for a 500-meter walk every night, but make it consistent. The next night, 550. The next, 600. The next, 700. Perhaps a week later, you're up to 1,000 meters. You're walking a kilometer. The week before that, you were just listening to High Heroes video, to myself, to Gus talk, and you didn't even have the notion that you were going to begin to do any form of exercise. And now it's a week later, and now you've started walking. Now you've walked a kilometer. Now you've phased out the weekendly takeaway that you might be ordering. It's little things like that. It seems small and insignificant, but they're all things that are challenging. Perhaps to you, you'll find those sort of things a challenge. To get moving, to get active, to eliminate an unhealthy food. But every time you overcome a challenge, you build a little bit of confidence in yourself. You ground yourself, you establish some self-worth. And then you start looking at the world in a different light. You start holding yourself to a higher standard, to a higher esteem. You have higher self-esteem. And all this simping, all this chasing women, it'll fleet your mind. So that's it from me. G-Man, take it away if you enjoyed this video. If you've got anything to say, comment, like, or simply shoot at me if you disagreed with something that I've said. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
They're looking at the woman there like from down up. Like, oh please goddess, don't destroy me. Okay guys, there's a lot of wind, a lot of change in light. So yeah, but
who cares anyway, right? She's just talking shit. She says the same thing for another 3 minutes. I think I'm not going to watch it out. If you guys want to punish your own ears, feel free to do so. I'll put the link in the video description. Her comments are turned off, so unsurprisingly. But yeah, guys, take a look at it. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this far if you've made it. Cheers.